Many changes have taken place. One thing remains the same. That is your task and your duty. You are required to ensure the security of this country against any aggressor. What does that mean for you? It means that you should have to fight, and fight to win. There is no room for the loser. If you lose, don't come back.
In the pages of modern India, one name prominently resonates with valor, strategy and leadership. Field Marshal S.H.F. Manekshaw, a man whose genius in administration and military strategy shaped the destiny of our nation. Immortalized in military history as the smartest chief of army staff who led India to a thumping victory in the 1971 war over Pakistan and eventually led to the liberation of Bangladesh. He is the first army officer in history to be promoted to the rank of Field Marshal, the highest honorary rank in the Indian Army. His active military career spanned 4 decades and 5 wars, beginning with service in the Second World War. Born on the 3rd of April 1914 in Amritsar, Punjab, to an army doctor, Captain Samji Manekshaw and Mrs. Hirabai Manekshaw. Both his parents were Parsis who moved to Amritsar from the city of Valsad in the coastal Gujarat region. As a boy, Manekshaw was mischievous and high-spirited. His early ambition was to study medicine and become a doctor like his father. He completed his primary schooling in Punjab and then went to Sherwood College, Nainital. In 1931, he passed his senior Cambridge with distinction. Manekshaw then asked his father to send him to London to study medicine. However, his father refused on account of his age, that he was not old enough. But as the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun beckoned, and thus began his storied military journey. The jungles of Burma during the World War II, where Manekshaw mettle was first tested. Severely wounded, he displayed unparalleled courage, confronting the Japanese troops while bleeding, earning him the Military Cross for his gallantry. As India grappled with the challenges of post-independence, Manekshaw's expertise played a pivotal role in shaping the Indian Army's strategies and ethos. During the 1961 liberation of Goa from Portuguese rule, Manekshaw's planning and execution skills were evident, ensuring a swift and efficient operation with minimal casualties. In charge of Eastern Command during the War of 1965, Manekshaw advised against attacking East Pakistan. He did so partly because the conflict was centered in Kashmir and Punjab, and partly because he didn't want to antagonize the population of East Pakistan, who were then very patriotic. Manekshaw was appointed the 8th Chief of the Army Staff on the 8th of June 1969. During his tenure, he developed the Indian Army into an efficient instrument of war and was instrumental in stopping a plan to reserve positions in the army for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Though he was Parsi, a minority group in India, Manekshaw felt that the practice would compromise the ethos of the army and believed that all must be given an equal chance. In the capacity of COAS, Manekshaw once visited a battalion of 8 Gorkha Rifles in July 1969. He asked an orderly if he knew the name of his chief. The orderly replied that he did, and on being asked to name the chief, he said, Sam Bahadur.
I met a Gorkha sentry, I looked at him and I said, asked him, "Tera naam kya hai?" And he said, "Harka Bahadur Guru." Then I looked at him, "Mera naam kya hai?" And he thought, and he said, "Sam Bahadur." It became Sam Bahadur.
This eventually became Manekshaw's nickname. The 1971 war was a defining moment. In March of 1971, the Pakistan Armed Forces launched a fierce campaign to curb protests in East Pakistan, killing thousands of Bengalis, and nearly 10 million refugees fled to India. In April, India decided to assist in the formation of the new nation of Bangladesh. Towards the end of April, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi asked Manekshaw if he was prepared to go to war with Pakistan. He replied that most of his armoured and infantry divisions were deployed elsewhere. Only 12 of his tanks were combat ready. He also pointed out the Himalayan passes would soon open up with the forthcoming monsoon, which would result in heavy flooding. General Manekshaw offered to resign. Indira Gandhi declined and instead sought his advice. He said he could guarantee victory if she would allow him to handle the conflict on his own terms, set a date for it. Gandhi agreed. Following the strategy planned by Manekshaw, the army launched several preparatory operations in East Pakistan, including training and equipping the Mukti Bahini, a local militia group of Bengali nationalists. About 3 brigades of regular Bangladeshi troops were trained, and 75,000 guerrillas were trained and equipped with arms and ammunition. As the war progressed, Pakistan's resistance crumbled. India captured most of the advantageous positions and isolated the Pakistani forces, which started to surrender or withdraw. Manekshaw addressed the Pakistani troops by radio broadcast on the 9th, 11th and the 15th of December, assuring them that they would receive honourable treatment from Indian troops if they surrendered.
The Indian army is in Bangladesh. Your air force has been destroyed. You are surrounded on all sides, and if you don't surrender, you will be killed unmercifully.
The decision to surrender was taken by East Pakistan Army Commander General Niazi on the 15th of December and was conveyed to Manekshaw through the United States diplomats via Washington. Manekshaw replied that he would stop the war only if Pakistani troops surrendered to their Indian counterparts by 9 a.m. on the 16th of December. The deadline was extended to 3 p.m. the same day at Niazi's request, and the instrument of surrender was formally signed on the 16th of December 1971 by Lieutenant General Amir Abdullah Khan Niazi. When the Prime Minister asked Manekshaw to go to Dhaka and accept the surrender of Pakistani forces, he declined, saying that the honour should go to the GOC in C Eastern Command, Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora. Concerned about maintaining discipline in the aftermath of the conflict, Manekshaw issued strict instructions forbidding looting and rape and stressed the need to respect and stay away from women. The war was for 12 days and saw 94,000 Pakistani soldiers taken prisoner. It ended with the unconditional surrender of Pakistan's eastern half and resulted in the birth of Bangladesh as a new nation.
जो शरणार्थी यहाँ आए हैं, वो सब वापस जाएंगे. हम हर तरह से मुक्ति वाहिनी की सहायता करेंगे, बांग्लादेश के लोगों की मदद करेंगे.
देखा तोरे होया थी पागल, रूपाली नदी रे.
After the war, Manekshaw became known for his compassion towards the POWs. He ensured that they were well treated by the Indian Army, made provisions for them to be supplied with the copies of the Quran, and allowed them to celebrate festivals and receive letters and parcels from their loved ones. While many clamoured for immediate action, Manekshaw's foresight prevailed. His meticulous planning ensured a decisive victory, leading to the creation of Bangladesh. In recognition of outstanding services to the armed forces and the nation, he was promoted to the rank of Field Marshal on the 1st of January 1973. The first Indian Army officer to be so promoted, he was formally conferred with the rank in a ceremony held at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Gorkha hat, a symbol of Manekshaw's identity, represented his bond with the Gorkha regiment. It was under his leadership that the regiment saw some of its most glorious days. Manekshaw's wit was legendary. When asked about being a minority Parsi, he jovially responded, "I'm always a majority of one." Such anecdotes endeared him to both his troops and the nation. His service was not without recognition. From Padma Bhushan in 1968 to the Padma Vibhushan in 1972, India honored its beloved son. Yet he remained humble, always prioritizing duty over accolades. For his service to the nation, the President of India awarded Manekshaw the Padma Vibhushan in 1972. Manekshaw retired from active service on the 15th of January 1973 after a career of nearly 4 decades. Popular with Gorkha soldiers, Nepal feted Manekshaw as an honorary general of the Nepalese army in 1972. In 1977, he was awarded the Order of Tri Shakti Patta First Class and Order of Knighthood of the Kingdom of Nepal by King Birendra. Following his service in the Indian Army, Manekshaw served as an independent director on the board of several companies and in a few cases as the chairman. He was outspoken and avoided political correctness. Although Manekshaw was conferred the rank of Field Marshal in 1973, it was reported that he was not given the complete allowances to which he was entitled. It was not until 2007 that then President and another genius, Dr. A.P. Abdul Kalam, met Manekshaw in Wellington and presented to him a check for rupees 1.3 crores, his arrears of pay for over 30 years. Manekshaw visited hospitalized soldiers during the Kargil War and was cited by the Chief of Army Staff, General Ved Prakash Malik, the commander during the war, as his icon. Post-retirement, Manekshaw settled in the serene town of Wellington in Tamil Nadu. Here amidst the Nilgiris, he spent his days, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw's life is a testament to leadership, duty and honor. His story, etched in time, serves as a beacon for all who don the uniform and for a nation forever in his debt. I wonder whether those of our political masters who have been put in charge of the defense of the country can distinguish a mortar from a mortar, a gun from a howitzer, a guerrilla for a guerrilla, although a great many resemble the latter.